So as I was saying, this is console. If they say check the console and see what is going on there, you inspect, click on console. This is it. You have sources. This is what is going on here is way beyond the scope of this training. You have network. This network, you'll be needing it a lot. Like you'll be using it a lot, especially when you are testing a web application, because when things fails, let's say they make an API call. See, these are some of the API calls that they make to make this thing display as we are seeing it like this. Some of the data they fetch, we did API last week, right? So some of these API calls in the browser, this is this is it. You can see the response. Let me see if anyone returns anything. Yeah. So for security purpose, they really conceal most of these things. Yeah. But there are some software that you actually see stored here. Most of the data that was returned from the API calls. So you can come to the headers, you see the actual API that was called, you see if it's 200, okay here. If it failed, the status code will show here. See the payload, see the preview, see response. So some of the time as we're testing, a developer can say that, help me copy the payload, something like that. You inspect, you come to network, you come to your payload. Which payload are you copying? Which of them are you copying? You navigate there, copy it, because it aids their own debugging process as they are trying to fix some of the errors that you've seen. So, and what's the response, all those stuff. So these are the minor things that will actually give you an edge as a QA. This performance, again, beyond the scope of these things, of this training. You can see environment settings and all the stuff. This network, no throttling. You can simulate a slow internet here. You can see that drop down, right? You can see fast 4G, you can see slow 4G, 3G offline. That is, let's say a user is trying to access your application from a device that doesn't even have internet. So what will happen? You can check it. If you click this offline, you see what will happen. If you click slow 4G, that it should load very slowly. When internet is very slow, what will happen? All those things. And when you are done doing all those things, remember to toggle it back to the default. No throttling. So I will pick this offline and then click something and we'll see what will happen. So if I say I want to order this Oraimo free ports and we are offline, let's see what will happen. Add to carts. Can you see that it's not doing anything? It's not responding to me. I already clicked this add to carts, but nothing is happening. I click on the product and can you see? No internet. So if I go back, I click on this. Can you see? It says I'm offline. So if I click on it and I said no throttling. So let's go back online and I refresh. You know the concept of refreshing in a browser, right? Now you can see that what I click on, it already took me there. So that's it. That's Google Chrome Dev Tools. You should be able to like maneuver your way around here, do a lot of things. Security. Google Chrome has a lot of features, hidden features. You can find out more about it as a tester. There are settings, a lot of things. This network tab, you will need it a lot. And this console, you can clear everything that is showing here so that maybe there are too many things and you're trying to look for a particular things. before you click on something. Let's say I clear everything, click again, and I click on add cards. Let's see if there's anything I'll show. So I already add this one to carts, and I want to go back. So these are many more is what you'll be doing as a tester. After you've generated your test cases, it will be easier for you. So by just executing your test cases one by one, if I search something, what's the result? Test pass, test fail, you record it. If I add something to carts, if I add more than one thing to carts, what happens? Does the prices match? Different scenarios. And you have to ensure that you cover everything end to end, because if you miss out things and they go and find out in production, they will put the blame on you. They will say, but you say you tested it and everything is working fine. So I've added two things to cart now. Let's go and check what does the cart look like. So the first one I added is 21,100. The second one is 12,800. This plus this. The total, is it correct? So these are the things we will look out for. If you remove something, what happens? Is there an error? Is it going fine? So some people tested this application to ensure that we can use it smoothly like this. I'm very sure when they first developing this thing, it was not this smooth. No software started like this. You will see a lot of errors. You will be tired yourself. If I click remove, you say remove from cart. Do you really want to remove this item from cart? Yes, I want to remove it. So that's like a test case on its own. Remove item from cart. When I click on remove, does it bring out a pop-up? You say, okay, it brought out a pop-up. I click on remove item. Yeah, the item was removed successfully. Test passed. That's one test case. So if I add more than one items, if I click this plus, what happened? As you can see, it doubled the prices. If I click minus, what happened? You can see it went back to the original price. So like that, like that, like that, to explore all every other options. Edge cases, like negative testing. There's something they call positive testing, negative testing. Positive testing is oh, I do it normally. I say I want to buy washing machine. I added washing machine. I add it to cart. Everything should go on smoothly. I go to my cart. I see the washing machine I added. Negative testing is what if I click it twice at the same time? What happened? Did this still respond to my clicking or something has happened? Like all those kind of things. You have to, user can be crazy sometimes. They will do a lot of things and you'll be wondering what's going on. So you have to like simulate all this things. Your system have to be robust enough to respond to all these errors. So test cases is meant to guide you to your tests and help with your documentation. So any questions so far? Any question? Please ask questions, please. And you should practice, practice, practice. Pick up a software that you see somewhere. Try to look for what's wrong.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much for the class and your time. I appreciate you. Sorry, there was a point I got off the class due to network. So when I go back, I noticed that the display that beside this Jumia display, there's another display beside it. So I want you to like explain what the side display is all about. Because I don't actually understand what is happening there because the network I was off for a while because of my network on my
Oh,
end.
oh,
So
oh.
I don't
Okay.
understand what is happening on this side, the other side of this Jumia.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying
Thank you.
that this is Google Chrome that I'm using, the name of the browser I'm using. So I'm saying they have some tools that will aid your test as a software tester. So I actually explained how you get there. I said you should right click and click on inspect. That's one way to get there. Or you can click Control Shift I from your keyboard and it will take you there. So there are a lot of options here, different things we can do, a lot of things. So I will actually advise you to research more on it because you might not be able to go through everything. It will actually help you, especially when you are testing manually in a web browser. You need to know these things. So you can test responsiveness. Yeah. If I toggle this thing, you can see what I click here, right? This icon here, like a laptop phone thing.
Yes.
Okay. So I can change the devices here that what if I'm using an iPad mini? How does Jumia look like on iPad mini? What if I
Okay.
change to iPad Pro? What does it look like? So I can toggle it back. I can actually click here and drag and see. This is what they call responsiveness that is responsive. Not every software is meant to be responsive, actually. So there are some that you can only use it as on your laptop at most or on a tab. So there are some that it will be so responsive you can actually use it on your mobile device. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, I understand you.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
there are also other options here. I already went through this. There's elements. So this element, you'll be using this place when you are writing your automation, when you eventually start doing your automation test, because it will help you like locate some elements. Let's say I want to click this add cart button. I need some of the features from this element to be able to click it. So you will see, you can see button here, type of button, class, and all those stuff. So automation tools use different features to click on all these things automatically. So this is where you get them from. You can click based on this class of add, based on anything, based on this button. You can see when I click on it, it's highlighting on it on the browser actually. So different things that you can do here. If I click on this image here, you can see the image here. These are some of the things you should be able to verify as a tester. When you can come to the console, if there is an error, there's some error you will see in the console. You can see red everywhere. Those are errors. You can see warnings. You can see some tests, removing unpermitted intrinsics. These are logged by the developer that developed this Jumia. They probably forgot to clear it or something. You can clear it here. You can do a lot of things. You can click on sources. You can click on network. Network is all the API calls that was done to get here so far. We see it here. So you can also clear it here. If I go back, if I say I don't want washing machines, I want to go back. We see how everything will be changing here. Can you see? So you can see that. So it's recording everything you are doing. So all those pictures is actually loading them. Here, you can see air condition, fan, washers, user, everything. So when something's failed to load or something, you can troubleshoot yourself and know what's going on. You can see the headers. You can see 200 OK here, status code. I remember I talked about status code last week. 200 OK means everything is fine. What if there's an error somewhere? You can see for not found. So these are the things you can do yourself to troubleshoot what's happening, what's wrong, why is this thing failing, so that you will not just say it's fail, it's not working. What happened? You can actually tell. These things put you like it help you more, and developer will actually like to work with you very much because they know that you know more than just is working, is not working kind of thing. You can actually go further and troubleshoot what's happening behind the scene. You know what you are doing as a tester. So that's what I was trying to achieve when I click here, and I will actually advise you to learn more about it. Yeah, so that's about
All
that.
right, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Any other
Yeah.
question?
Yes, I have a question. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Go on.
Okay. So I noticed while you inspect the icon beside the element, we're able to, after click, you're able to check how they will appear on um any of the browsers, either
Yeah.
iPhone. Mhm. So for cross-browser testing, are
Okay.
there tools we still use beside this to test on to check for cross-browser test? Are there tools we can use
Okay.
to
When
check? Yeah.
cross browser testing, so basically means you are testing across browsers. So this Chrome that I just use now, this same application, you take it to Microsoft, other browsers. Let's say, what's the name of this one? Firefox. How does it
Okay.
display in Firefox? What does it look like? Don't assume because everything is fine in Chrome, it's also fine in Firefox. No, download as many browsers as possible. Download Brave, download what is it called? Microsoft Edge. Download every browser you can lay your hand on, Opera Mini. So because you can't predict what your user will be using, right? So I will stop sharing now and try to open my Firefox browser here. And let's see what Gmail looks like it in before our time run out. So somebody is asking what's the role of element icon and console. I believe I've explained that already, right? Please, if you are the one that asked the question, if you
Ye-
still understand it, you can
Yes,
just
you have. You have. Yes, you have.
okay, all right. So I will share my screen now and share my Firefox browser. So you as a tester, you need to be thorough as much as possible. Where is this thing? Okay, yeah, sure. Please let me know you can see my screen. If I say Jumia.com.ng, ng. So this is Firefox. This is what it looks like inside Firefox. Sometimes some things might look off. These are the things you have to observe. You have to pay attention to details. That's some of the selling point as a QA. Attention to details. This. So you can see this is another browser entirely. And the same thing that I said about Chrome also applies here, although it's slightly different. You can see when I right click, you can see the display. It's a bit different. You can see I can even take screenshots here. Take screenshots. I don't know, maybe it's my own operating system or it's actually Firefox. I just took screenshots here. I can download or copy it. Okay. So when I right click, inspect, this one is a bit different. So it's displaying down, but I can change it to display just by the side, like the Chrome. There's somewhere you can change that. Let me try to look for it here. Definitely no. Okay. Dock to the bottom, dock to the right, dock to the left. So I would pick to the right. I'm just comfortable with this right. You can set it anywhere. When you click here, you can do left if that's what you are convenient with. I'm just used to this right anyways. So the same thing, the same procedure in Chrome also applies to Firefox. You can see inspector, you can see console, can see debugger, see network. So this like arrow, if you click it, you see the rest of the options. Storage, there's performance. So there are a lot of things, cool things you can actually do in this browser. They've enhanced their functionalities and they can actually help you as a tester. So you can clear everything that you're seeing here. And oh, if I click on this, so you will think of a lot of scenarios that what if they order everything on the for a particular product and is now zero, and the user still try to click on add carts, what happened? Mm, Should this are they able to still click add cart after even when the items see this one is saying 47 items left? What if it's just one item and I click add cart and I want to buy two and I say add carts and I get to carts and I could see that it was one that was remaining, but I still click plus here, say I want two. These are the scenarios you will explore as a tester. What happened? The system should be able to say, oh, sorry, you only have one left. That kind of thing. So like that, like that, like that. These are the things, edge cases you put in your negative testing. You put in your test cases document and all. So any other question?
Last question, please.
All right.
We are talking about test reports. Now I will present a report to either the stakeholders after we've tested. So in the test report, you mentioned they can use tools, Jira and the rest, then even Excel sheet, Excel. So
Mhm.
I noticed that when they take a screenshot,
Yeah.
and for example, you are using an Excel
Yeah.
and you've written your test case, the scenario, the steps to execute, and the
Mhm.
place for the bug. So how do you present the bug? If you screenshot it, will you put it like that, or you make it a link to put on the Excel sheet, or how do you put your bug the bug you identified, like the screenshot, the bug itself,
Mhm.
on the text report? And if
So
it's Jira, I know Jira can be able to attach, but on the Excel sheet, how do you add that to it?
okay, so this one is there is no like a written rule to this one. This one depends totally on you or your organization. So some organization already have like a process defined on ground that we come and meet. So you just have to blend in. Like my own company now, we are using ClickUp. On ClickUp, they already create a task for me that I'm testing Jumia. So every morning I have to go there and comment that, oh, yesterday, this is what I did, and then this is what I encountered. And if I see any bug under that my task, I'll create it as bug. I'll create tasks as bug and assign who will fix it. The person that I know that is in charge of fixing that particular bug, I will assign it. As I'm assigning it to them, I'm also telling them in their DM. Although ClickUp is also giving them notification that, oh, Fin added this, assigned this task to you. So it depends on your organization actually. Some organizations are using tools that make your life very easy. Some organization, they are startups. We are the one that will define some of these tools, that recommend some of these tools for them. Do you get?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. Any other question? Just ask your question. Because after now, we are done.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I appreciate your the time and effort you're putting into what you're doing, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, I just want to digress slightly. Based on some of the tools we are well accustomed to, like the ones you just mentioned, I would like to know of your opinion about use of Selenium because based on some of my researches, is the most advised Zebul test automated tools to be used in debugging on website. So I just want to seek your own opinion in regards to that.
Yeah, you are very correct. Selenium is one of the most popular automation tools. So the reason why people choose it is up to them. But with Selenium, you can automate with different program language. You know that before you can automate with a framework like Selenium, you have to know some certain program languages, right? So
Yeah,
the most popular one that I know Java. I don't know if Selenium accepts JavaScript and TypeScript and all those, but I know Selenium for Java and I know Selenium for Python. I've practiced
Python, yeah.
Python before. So yeah,
Okay.
it's one of the
Oh,
if you are actually going through job description, Selenium is like one of the most required tools. But there are also other tools too. There are Playwright, there's Cypress. So these are just tools. So and it's also advisable for you to like you must have done manual for a certain period of time before you should start laying your hands on automation tools
yeah.
because so and some of the things that they were asking in an interview is that how do you what is this question? They've asked me this question several times. How how do you define which test cases to automate? Yeah, which test cases to automate? Let's say that document that I took you through, you've written all your test cases, everything is there. How do you know which one to automate, which one not to automate? So basically what I normally tell them is test cases that I automate are the one that I have to do them over and over again. Let's say like adding stuff to carts, checking out. Those are very easily to automate because you are not entering OTP, you are not like doing any facial match along the line. So it's very you can automate those one end to end. Log into Jumia, add this also thing to carts, check out from the carts.
Okay.
So those are the things we identify that how do you even determine which test case to automate? So let's say now,
Okay.
as you add to carts, you say enter OTP, and that OTP has been sent to your phone. How will you do that through automation? Almost impossible. You have to do that manually. Enter the OTP. Oh, 612450. So you can't automate that kind of test scenario.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? Mhm.
Yeah, I understand. I just want to chip in slightly. The organization I'm working for, though the website that we are developing now is at the beta level. So they are about to launch on a particularly scheduled date.
Okay.
And most of what uh, tasks we've been doing is has to be manual based. I mean, manual testing mode.
Yeah.
So so and me and my colleague now, because we have two of us that are working as software testers. So
Mm.
we are looking on how to seamlessly transition to using automation tools that can make our simplify the work mode
Yeah.
in a much simpler way.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask now, like based on what you are doing with your own organization now, what like now the website we are developing now, since it's in beta mode, like is it still advisable to continue doing manual testing or switch to automation testing?
So there's nothing like switch to automation testing. No. Automation testing is just to help you run your regression tests as fast as possible. You will still do your manual.
Oh,
Do you get?
all right.
Automation test
Yeah,
is
I know that.
so you
I know that it makes the both.
yeah. So you can start researching on the automation tools you want to use, start learning them now, start practicing them so that you can write them, not until they start demanding it from you and they start giving you deadline. So deliver this thing by this also time. And you now start running around
Oh,
that kind of thing.
okay, okay, okay.
So I would advise you
I'm
to
done.
explore a lot of tools, the one that you find easier to work with. Go for it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Understood. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome. So any other question before we call it a day? We are past the time. Please ask your question. And if you want us to look at anything next week, it's like maybe there's something you would like us to explore or anything, you can send it to the admin or put them in the chat group so I can prepare for them because next week I'm still thinking what should we look at? Maybe like let's pick one mobile app application and let's go through it. So I might be joining the meeting next week from my mobile phone. We try to like test from so somebody hand is raised. Tim Lane,
Yes. Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so sorry, can you hear me?
Hey, continue.
All right. Okay, so I am familiar with Azure DevOps, right? So I
Okay.
want to ask, test scenario, is it the same thing as typing? Because on Azure DevOps, when you click on like maybe you want to start writing a test case and you hover on the user story, there's like a drop down that will bring out add text and you have to input the title. So does the title mean that's the test scenario? That's just what I want to clarify.
Sorry, I didn't get your
Thank
question.
you.
Is test scenario the same thing as what?
As title on Azure DevOps because on Azure DevOps I've not seen like a test scenario. When you were telling us about test scenario, it's like giving us like an headline of what you want to write on like the test case. So I just want to confirm now that title, like the line for title on Azure DevOps, is it the same thing as the test scenario?
Yeah, I think yeah, it is.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm. Although I use Azure DevOps for something else entirely for that's I've used it in another organization. It's not even for testing purpose. So, but for testing, it's been a while. I've used it like that was like in 2020 or so, and it was very cool. So I love it then. But I can't define what organization choose to use and what they choose not to use. So now currently I use ClickUp. So you have to be flexible. Just because you are used to one tools doesn't mean that's what you use forever. You can get to another organization today and they are using something else. So you have to just look down, familiarize yourself with it, ask questions. Please ask questions as much as possible. Ask questions. So that's just it. I think that will be all for today. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Hello,
Bye.
hello, Finn.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you said you see us next week. I thought there's going to be a class tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm not aware.
According to the schedule dropped on the WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
there's a class today and there's going to be a class tomorrow.
The tomorrow class is not for software testing. Software testing is next week, Saturday, 4 p.m. That's how we've been doing it since beginning of February. Saturday, 4 p.m.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you so much. Please, I have one more question. So
Okay.
sorry to delay you. So I
Yes.
would like to know. I joined this class 2 days ago.
Okay.
So this is my first class. So, please, I would like to know if you guys have used um one of the QA tools, one of the QA major tools, if probably you guys have practicalized it and all of that. And if not, I would like to know if there's still going to be a session that will be more focused on practicalizing some of the major QA tools.
Okay. So the first week was like introduction. I did some definition. So I think the recording is on YouTube. The second week was that was last week. We used Postman for API testing. We explore everything about API, the status, HTTP status code, everything from delete to create to update to everything. That was last. So this is what I promised to do this week, and that's what we've done. Next week, I'm looking like we explore. I'll look for one mobile application that we can just explore and see how it works. You find bugs, all the stuff. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. I have those videos already, so I'm already leveraging on it. Thank you so much, Philip.
All right. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.